A single SQS consumer receives an order message, spends 45 seconds calling a slow downstream payment API, and then finally calls delete message. That call succeeds. But the customer got charged twice. One consumer, one message, one delete. So why did it run twice? Here's exactly what happened. The queue was left at its default visibility timeout, 30 seconds. The consumer received the message, then spent 45 seconds on the payment call before it ever got around to deleting the message. The delete eventually succeeded. But somewhere in there, the same order got charged a second time. So what's the real explanation? Is it that standard queues are at most once by default, so the original message silently vanished and the second charge came from a retry the client code added itself? Is it that the default 30-second visibility timeout expired before the 45-second processing finished, so the message became visible again and a second poll picked it up and ran the payment call a second time, before the first delete call even landed? Is it that receive message without the wait time set to its maximum always returns every message twice? Or does deleting a message with an expired receipt handle silently create a duplicate copy instead of returning an error? The answer is, the default 30-second visibility timeout expired before the 45-second processing finished, so the message became visible again, and a second poll picked it up and ran the payment call again, before the first delete call even landed. Here's why. Receiving a message doesn't remove it from the queue, it just hides it from other consumers for the queue's visibility timeout, 30 seconds by default if nothing else is set. The message is still sitting in the queue the whole time it's in flight. Only a successful delete call actually removes it. The payment call here took 45 seconds, 15 seconds longer than that 30-second window. At the 30-second mark, with no delete issued yet and no extension requested, SQS automatically makes the message visible again, exactly as if it had never been received. Any consumer polling after that, a second worker, a retried invocation, even the same consumer's next poll, can pick up that same message and start its own run, including its own call to that same slow payment API. The first consumer's delete call still succeeds afterward because its receipt handle was valid when it was issued. But by then, a second independent charge has already happened. This isn't an edge case, it's documented behavior. Standard queues are explicitly at least once delivery, and a visibility timeout shorter than real processing time is one of the most common ways that shows up in production. The fix is to raise the visibility timeout so it comfortably exceeds real processing time, or better, extend it dynamically mid-processing with a heartbeat pattern instead of guessing one static value up front. But the most important part of the fix is to make the handler itself idempotent regardless, for example keying the payment call on the order ID, so that a second delivery of the same message is a safe no-op. Standard queues stay at least once delivery even with a perfectly tuned timeout, so the timeout alone is a mitigation, not a guarantee.